This week marked the 62nd anniversary of the day the music died, which at the time was the greatest tragedy that rock and roll had ever seen. In a crash in Clear Lake, Iowa that claimed the lives of Buddy Holly, Ritchie Valens, and J.P. Richardson, known as the Big Bopper. All three of these artists made really great music, but the one song that sticks out among all of these songs to me is Every Day by Buddy Holly, and I'm going to show you some interesting things about this song. It's a very simple song. It only has 2 parts. And also at the end of the video, if you want to check out footage from my visit to the crash site and the Surf Ballroom from back in 2019. The song's in E flat, but what I've got is the capo here on fret 1. And so in order to play an E flat chord here, I play the D shape. So there's only 2 parts to this song. The first is a 1-6-4-5 chord progression, and in the key of E flat, that's E flat major, C minor, then it is A flat major, and then B major. But because we're doing this with the key of D shapes, this would translate to D, B minor, G, and A. Now it does sound very different on the recording because it's just, I'm not sure exactly how they're getting that sound, but it kind of sounds like they're slapping their knees. And then there's the xylophone in upright bass. So this is a little bit different. So one, 6, 2, 5, D, B minor, G, A. That's the whole first part. Okay, now something very interesting happens here. The next part, the second part, we've got G, which is actually A flat on the recording. D flat, which is C. And then it goes to F, which is actually G flat on the recording. It's actually a B, so it's a B shape, and it's actually a B chord here. It's a very interesting half-step motion to the A chord or the B flat in the recording. So if I'm playing this whole thing through, I'll try to hum the melody as best I can. Goes back to that same part. Now in order to understand the cool thing that's happening in that second part, let's go to the whiteboard. Alright, so what I have right here is I've written out all of the diatonic chords in the key of E flat major. Now to understand what's going on in that second part, we need to take a look at that parallel minor key of E flat minor. Alright, so now I've written out the parallel minor. So we have the 2 E flat and E flat minor, the 2 parallel keys here. 1, 6, 2, 5. Why is this a 1, 6, 2, 5? Well, E flat is the 1 in the key of E flat major. C minor is the 6 of E flat major. A flat is the 4. And B flat is the 5. So there's our first part of the song. The second part of the song, the progression is as follows. We have 2 bars of A flat, 2 bars of D flat, G flat major for 2 bars. Then we have B major for 1. Then we have B flat for 1. So let's examine the second part. A flat, that's simply the 4 of E flat major. Okay, so that's the 4, major 4. Now here we have a D flat major, which is actually the major flat 7. So he's borrowing this from the parallel minor. Interesting that even someone like Buddy Holly was borrowing from parallel modes, right? Done G flat, that's the flat 3 of the minor. Okay, so it's right, taking stock of our chords, these are the borrowed ones from this tune. B, it's the same thing as C flat, so he's also borrowing the flat 6. The major flat 6. And then he uses that to chromatically go down from B to B flat, the 5 of E flat, which takes us right back into the verse. In traditional Roman numeral analysis, you might see something like this. E flat with colon to indicate that these chords are in the E flat minor. Then it would go back to this. So capital E flat colon 5. So it's pretty interesting. It's very innovative in how in that second part he uses that melody to great effect while borrowing from this. Of course, it's not exactly the most uncommon of practice, but something like Buddy Holly's music, you wouldn't really expect something from that because the 50s rock and roll was very, very simple. You know, it was very, very simple. And it's pretty cool. One reason why I love this song so much, not just the instrumentation, but the whole thing about it. And so anyway, that's the analysis. That's what's going on here in this song. So hopefully this has taught you something, and hopefully you learned a really great tune and maybe a greater appreciation for Buddy Holly's music, and a little something about parallel borrowed chords. Borrowed chords. He's borrowing 4 chords from the parallel, 3 chords from the parallel minor. So now I'm going to end this video with some footage from the crash site and the Surf Ballroom. Thanks for watching.
How amazing that a place like the Ballroom is still not only operational but standing, you know?
Well, it's on the National Register, so it's amazing for ships to flight out. It's Richie Valens Drive. That's what it's like. So we were going to work somewhere in there. That's right.
The back of the Surf Ballroom.
It's just crazy.
I would have to think this is where they loaded in, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like either that or
The double doors. So somewhere in there in the vault they have the last thing that the 3 of them signed. Did I tell you that?
yeah. I'm looking forward to finding it.
Well, I think it's in a vault. I don't think we can see it. Yeah, but they do have things in there that are signed and hung up by them.
This is where they bought the tickets, right?
Yep, that's where they bought the tickets.
I have one for the winter dance.
Look, the same machine and everything. Well, Dad,
Let's go in.
you first. Let's do it. Sign the underside of the top board, so you can sign this. Oh. This is where you check your coat, and it is still operational to this day.
$1 per coat.
That's all right.
I should go, whoa.
This map shows how unorganized the tour was. They played in Green Bay the night before, and they played here February 2nd, 1959. They were supposed to go from here all the way up to Moorhead at the Armory the next day, but they never made it. There's the stage. So I'm on stage at the Surf Ballroom. I can barely believe it. Imagine living in a place like Clear Lake, Iowa, and those guys, three of the biggest rock and roll acts of the time, coming to your small town to give you an awesome show. And as a performer, that means a real lot. And right in that room is where the fateful coin toss happened. This is the doorway where the coin toss happened, right here. Wow, man. Right along this fence is where it happened. And if you ever visit, there's the glasses, and then you just follow the fence. I see reflection over there. That's probably it. Plane came out of that sky, hit the ground first about 500 feet away, so somewhere right over there, and slid or rolled. It stopped right here. The plane wreckage was right here, which means Buddy Holly